Hey, it's Deepak. I'm back in Leaves. We got some jazzy, upbeat music going on. Don't really remember where I left off. She confessed to sleeping with a woman, but I don't remember what happened after that. It wasn't so bad an explanation, actually. Better a theory than most. But still, I couldn't just let her pass. So I said, "Aren't you just splitting hairs? And in the first place, it's not as if I'm trying to act like an adult or anything like that." "Nuh-uh," she retorted. "No splitting hairs at all. I'm just quoting little Lady Tuka's book of wise sayings, see? This annoyed me. "Stop giggling like that, and stop trying to act so cutesy too, you idiot." "Man, that's harsh," Tuka said slowly. She was starting to blush a bit now, so the alcohol was starting to get to her. "So Tomohiro, tell me," she said, slurring her words a bit. I waited. "You," she continued after a bit, "think I'm an idiot, don't ya?" "What?" I asked, momentarily taken off guard. She gave me this tipsy glare and then said, "I asked you. You think I'm an idiot, don't ya?" "What, you aren't?" I retorted sardonically. She just glared back at me. "Or am I wrong?" I finished. "Damn it," she roared suddenly. "I guess your day of fucking judgment is here. 'Cause if you don't take that back, I swear I'm gonna fucking hit you with a crucifix armbar of your life, okay?" "What?" I gulped. I'd completely forgotten two things. First, she got drunk really easily. Second, when she got drunk, she was the craziest drunk ever. "Alright, let's get ready to rumble," she yelled, laughing madly, winding her arms up for the kill. "Hey," I cut in, calm down already." And yeah, this was the right thing to do, because despite her size and despite her appearance, she was deadly at pro wrestling techniques. "Humph," she sniffed, looking quite disappointed. "So you're apologizing?" "Yeah, I will," I answered. "Uh-huh," she said derisively. I didn't say anything. Then she sighed and muttered, "Okay, fine, go ahead." "I'm very sorry," I intoned, in a dead flat voice. "Oh, that's it," Tuka yelled angrily. I retorted, "What the hell, man? Didn't I just apologize just now?" "That wasn't sincere at all," she bawled drunkenly. "And now it's time for the kill." Tuka crouched down in a ready position, her arms folded into an X. "Hey, wait, didn't I just fulfill my end of the bargain?" I pleaded pathetically. "I just apologized to you like you said, didn't I?" "Can't hear you," she yelled cheerfully. Oh damn, she wasn't listening to a word I said anymore. "Hey, come on," I was saying, and then, "Ready or not, here I come." She terminated me. "Ow!" I screamed, "Get off me, you crazy idiot, that hurts." "Don't call me an idiot," Tuka replied, grinding out every word. I grimaced. "Ow! Ow! Ow! Fine, I won't say it anymore. I swear, I won't say it anymore." "Really?" Tuka asked sweetly. "It really hurts. Get off me. My arms are about to fall off." Tuka asked sternly, "And is that your final answer?" I yelled back, "What the hell? Just get off me already." That's exactly what she did. Rubbed my arms gingerly. Man, they did feel almost like they'd been pulled hard enough to be dislocated or something. "For crying out loud, man," I hissed. "You gotta take it a little easier than that." But she said nothing. After a long silence, finally she mouthed, "You know, I just sort of stood there with a quizzical look on my face, waiting for her to finish her sentence. She turned away from me, refusing to meet my eyes. Maybe I am an idiot, but there are a lot of things I think about." Now I was the one reduced to silence. "There are a lot of things," she repeated. The words seemed running out of some deep, tired part of her soul. New music again. When seen in profile like this, she looked even smaller than she already was. There was a hard, haggard, and ancient expression of ruin written all over her face. "I'm sorry," I finally said, with perfect sincerity, when I saw her like that. I'd been so busy looking out for number one this entire time that perhaps I never really looked at her closely. Because otherwise, how could I have missed something this obvious? I was a failure. As her man. No, as her childhood friend as well. Haha, Tuka said, a forced smile coming to her lips. "Alright, I'm gonna drink some more now, you hear?" She stood up with energy, as if she were desperately trying to shake the gloomy atmosphere off of herself. Maybe it was the alcohol. Maybe it was something else. All I knew was that we'd opened up a can of worms I really wish we hadn't. It was all useless. This wasn't our usual banter at all. But more importantly, was Stuco really addicted to her meds right now? And if she was, had she become such a junkie that by now she'd undergo withdrawal without the drugs in her system? Because she really didn't look it. Yet. There was the pop hiss of a tab being pulled off a Chuhi can, and then the groan of the bed as Stuka sat down on it. I heard her say, "Chuhi tastes so good, even if it is the cheap stuff." "Okay," I answered without much conviction. I could almost hear her smile. "This is perfectly fine for poor people like us, I'd say." I laughed. That may well be. These days, Tuka had stopped doing drugs in front of me. But I knew she still had them around. And I didn't know if it was because she was embarrassed about the habit, or because she was so deep into it that she was the trouble. That she was in trouble. "Do you plan on protecting her? Do you plan on riding to her rescue if need be?" Matsuri had asked me not long ago. I knew I had to get Tuka away from those drugs somehow. If I didn't, there would someday be a point of no return. I could see that clearly. "Do I plan on protecting her, Matsuri?" "Yes, I do." Yes, now that I answered that way, I had the duty, the responsibility to do something like this, about this. But there was something that gave me pause. I don't know if you can hear the people outside my door in the hallway, but there are some. Would Tuka really be happy with the course of action I was about to take? Junkie, when you hear that word, you think about someone so addicted to his meds that he's usually given himself, body and soul, to them, leaving himself with the wretched, crippled, inhuman kind of existence. Once someone has gotten to that state, generally speaking, society has to intervene. Can't tell if someone's knocking on my door or not, because I have noise-canceling headphones somewhat. And the game is very loud. Or at least trick itself into thinking it's intervening when actually it's just covering its eyes and hoping that the deviant will go away. I mean, come on. What right do any of us have to intrude upon the lives of others like that? Controlling what they can and cannot do. That's a fatal mistake if you ask me. Because basically, every single one of us must eventually decide things with our own two hands. Oh, don't you get me wrong. I'm not saying advice from other people isn't useful. It can be essential. But in the end, after all the advice, after all the entreaties, after all the finger pointing, you have to stand alone and deliver your conclusion. The truth of the matter is, the thing that the world calls honest living is actually monumentally hard, completely drained of fun, cold, and monstrous. And a lot of people, maybe even the majority, think the world revolves around them, think their time is their own and only their own, so they boast about how unique they are, how individual they are, when in fact they are all sheep being led to slaughter. They may even delude themselves into thinking that they're all wonderful, what have you, but anyone in the crowd can tell how pathetic and ridiculous these soapbox orators actually are. But the same goes, The masses so often forget this. For every fucking member of every fucking crowd, everybody in the world thinks that he's something special. Everybody in the world is a selfish egotist at the core. This is the law and the whole of the law. I was so crushed when I first figured this out. But it was all background noise to me at this point. I wasn't so arrogant as to think I might just be the one person in a generation who was actually something special. But even so, the knowledge that I was just as common, just as ignorant as everyone else really stuck in my craw. I knew it was a futile struggle, my resentment in vain. But that didn't change the fact that it still bothered me. And perhaps that made me a fool. So be it. Stuco said, looking up at me. You don't look so happy right now. Something the matter? She had no strength of her own. So even if I were to force her to change her course here and now, once I let her go, she'd just drift back to her particular derelict orbit. I needed to protect her, watch over her. Stupid words, silly sentiments, but still worthy ones, and so much easier to say than do. Because it all hinged on this one little thing inside my heart. Was I going to stay to the end, taking her weakness and holding on to her so she did not fall? Or was I not? I had to think about this. Finally, I sighed. You know, I love you. What? Stuco stammered. What's up with you all of a sudden? You sick or something? I replied. No, I think you're really cute, honestly. Well, she started. That makes me really happy, even if it is a lie. But, still kind of weird, isn't it? What's the use of confessing that to me now? Funny timing, honey. You know I'm yours anyway. I almost chuckled. Yeah, you're mostly right. It is kind of weird. And it is that funny timing. I can see that. But this isn't a confession. This is more like a litany to keep my head screwed on tight, maybe. A litany, because at that point in time, I didn't know whether this was all in my head, or whether I really felt what I just said I felt for her. And if I loved her, then how much? I didn't know that either. What the? She muttered. Then should I be happy after all? I shot back dryly. No, that's a totally different matter. Man, she sighed. You just don't know when to give it up, do ya? Getting tired here, just arguing with you. I snorted. I'm getting tired just thinking about it too, so let's just call it a draw. I love you, okay? You're lying, she retorted. Stop being such a dummy. Look, I'm telling the truth, I shot back. No, you're lying, she concluded derisively. Stop trying to make yourself feel better about it. Enough. I've had enough. I remained silent. Maybe I should have just said, no, I really love you. But my brain was too flooded with indecision right now for me to be saying anything. Because to say this now would be to take her on, all of her, drugs and all, and to stick with her till the bitter end. I didn't have that kind of determination yet. I was reluctant to commit to the course of action that lay in front of me. I meant, first of all, it was damn presumptuous to go about saying something about the way other people chose to live. And second of all, the response would always be the same. What, are you going to clothe me and feed me at your expense for the rest of my life? If not, then back off. Yes, I loved her. Yes, I felt like it would be a heavy burden indeed to protect her. I would have to sort myself out sooner rather than later and come down on one side or the other. But I just didn't know which one I was leaning towards at this time. That's why there was nothing I could say. And I said to myself, I'm just running away. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. No, I'm not. This went on for some time. You and Matsuri really suit each other, huh? Tuka mused, tilting her head to one side. I was thunderstruck. Suit? Why do you say that? I managed. Both of you, she began cautiously, have this really strong attitude. You don't think you're like other people. Get what I'm saying? Like you're special, not necessarily better, but special, set apart. I sighed. No, I don't think I'm special at all. And it sucks, because I know I'm not trying very hard to be something special anyway. But that's the same thing, Tuka retorted. You're just splitting hairs, I think. Can't become something special unless you have potential to be something special already, right? And that's how you and Matsuri both think of yourselves. You both really want to be something special. Something you're not. Yeah, you're right. That sucks. For the person watching you, I mean. I sighed again. Yeah, maybe you're right. But you know, I don't have any other choice but to live this way. And I'm pretty sure that's true for Matsuri too. Besides, come on. At a glance, both of us are pretty normal, clumsy, awkward people. Duka twirled some of her hair with her index finger for a moment. Then she pursed her lips, looked down for a bit, then spoke again. Look, see, you're just proving my point. At a glance, huh? And what's that supposed to mean? Deep down inside, you're not normal, you're special, is that it? Just knock it off, will ya? You're just making me so sick I want to curl up and die. Sorry to break it to you, but we all live breathing the same air, doing the same stupid things. Don't you dare think you're so special. Fine, I don't care. Say whatever you want, I snapped. Just pull the goddamn plank out of your own eyes before daring to point at the speck in mine. It would be all over for us if I just said this. Everything would be blind hypocrisy after that, and totally pointless. Because maybe my desire to save her from addiction itself was a great hypocrisy. I just didn't know. So I was giving myself a bit of an out here. For I didn't really mean it. For the only reason I wanted to rebuke her right now was so I could convince myself that I was indeed right. Duka just looked up at me, waiting for me to finish my sentence. So I said abruptly, I'm going home for the day. Tossed my empty can into the garbage can. I slung my backpack over one shoulder and stood, swaying a little from the alcohol. Huh? She responded with surprise. Going back to your apartment or something? Yeah, I replied without hesitation. She made a mouth. Then asked hesitantly, are you mad at me? With that, she jumped off her bed and blocked my path. No, not at all, I replied after a pause. I just need to cool my head a bit. She considered this for a moment, then looked up with a soft, half-hopeful, really? Yeah, I replied, so no worries, okay? Okay, she stammered. I looked at her in the eyes once, then turned and opened the door to her apartment. Later I called, not bothering to turn around. I heard a hesitant, okay, bye-bye, behind me. The door creaked open. I walked out and kept walking. Didn't turn around. Instead I looked up. The moon was new and dancing in the night sky. An oppressive summer heat still clung to the air, despite the fact that the light of the moon was pale and chilly. As I walked along, I pictured in my mind the shabby little apartment complex I'd just left behind. Still, I didn't turn around. I wonder, I said to no one in particular, when I'll be back. Because I wasn't going to come around these parts again until I was decided. Not until the moment I finally decided that I could throw everything else away in order to protect Tuka. My memory of her face, her expressions, her mannerisms of today seemed so far away already. Was I running away after all? Because I never wanted to be the kind of man who would run from everything. I wanted to be perfect, the kind of man who would stare trouble in the face and laugh, do the hard things, meet his enemy head-on with honor. What a fine ideal, and how far I was from it. For instead of meeting things head-on, I was making sure my fragile feelings wouldn't get hurt, and making sure Matsuri's fragile feelings wouldn't be hurt, and making sure that Tuka's fragile feelings wouldn't be hurt, and coming to no real decision at all. I was despicable. God damn it, I swore softly. What the hell am I supposed to do? My mind found itself too disgusting with my low aspirations to think anymore. My legs found themselves too disgusted with my lack of resolve to move forward anymore too. Abrupt music end. And chapter 3, hair trigger. Okay. I'm gonna end it here. Whoa, you went to school. Good for you, man. I'm gonna end it here and see you guys next time, so thanks for watching.